vaporize you.
Between the time when the oceans drank Atlantis and the rise of the sons of Arius, there was an age undreamed of. And unto this, Conan, destined to bear the jeweled crown of Aquilonia upon a troubled brow. It is I, his chronicler, who alone can tell thee of his saga. Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
In the realm of the celestial heavens a tale unfolds, shrouded in mystery and divine conflict. After Lucifer's demise, his eternal rest was defiled, as he and God were fused into the enigmatic Leviathan. This creature, veiled in illusion, concealed the truth of their identity and purpose. Determined to uncover the mysteries of his resurrection and the emergence of the being known as the Dragon, Lucifer embarked on a perilous journey. Guided by an inner longing for truth, Lucifer ventured to the edge of the mortal world and the depths of hell. Between these realms stood a formidable chain, separating the realms and guarding secrets untold. It was said that if an empath gifted with the ability of detecting demons hidden within man touched the chains, one could unlock hidden memories and glimpse the truth that lay concealed. Through trials and tribulations and being given permission by the archangels guarding the infernal dominions, Lucifer successfully reached the sacred chains that cast down the told dragon. Yet, the memories revealed were fragmented, failing to ignite the spark of remembrance he sought. Nevertheless, he shared what he witnessed during his spiritual odyssey. Their memories seemed familiar at first. The world was engulfed in the waters of a great deluge, and darkness loomed overhead. The fallen angels and Lucifer emerged from the depths of the flood, their forms incomplete, covered by a strange clay-like substance. Within these imperfect husks lay only remnants of their former selves, distorted and unnatural. Amidst the chaos, God, in his divine presence, guided the vessel of Izu, creating a calm oasis within the storm. Filled with righteous fury, Lucifer confronted Izu, questioning why he alone was spared while their children perished. Izu, faithful to the Creator, spoke of mercy and acceptance, urging Lucifer to surrender to the divine will. However, consumed by anger and a desire for retribution, Lucifer offered Izu a choice: stand alongside him and defy the Creator, or face the consequences of blind obedience. Just then the light from the sky opened up and shone so bright it blinded Izu. In a moment of divine intervention, a radiant light pierced the darkness, and God's voice thundered across the heavens as a booming voice spoke from the skies.
Lucifer, you foul and defiled thing that should not be. Even now you defy my will. I struck you down and removed you forever from the heavens, yet still you persist.
The fallen angels, brought to their knees, heard the voice of their Maker. But their defiance remained steadfast, for they believed they were remade and no longer bound by the Creator's will.
Lucifer, we have to make a stand. It's now or never.
Lucifer said, "You misunderstand. Our children do not make us capable of rising against him. It is his intent and actions that threaten us all that makes us able to raise our hand against him." And with that we took flight, soaring slowly upward into the core of the light above us. The thunder rolled as God spoke.
Abominations, you continue to defy me, your Maker.
One by one they were brought down and thrown from the sky by the booming of each word he spoke. Finally, just as we came close to reaching him, Azazel hurled my sword towards me as he yelled,
"I can't make it. I'm sorry, my brother."
I grabbed the sword as he flung it up to me, then I watched as he fell from the sky like a bolt of lightning. The rage overwhelmed me and gave me the strength to break through. I snarled as if in a feral rage. Armed with a celestial blade, I clashed with God himself. "You monster!" I yelled as I swung my blade, but his wings deflected my blow as he quickly grabbed me by my throat.
"I grow tired of your arrogance, Lucifer. It is my creation, and thus it is my will that decides its fate. You have no place to question my actions towards what I have made.
I planted my heel into his chest and propelled myself off of him, twisting myself free of his grip and quickly regained my stance. You underestimate the cunningness of what you created. Your very intentions give me the right and my place to stand against you right now. We stood in a standoff, face to face for a moment. As I said, you have become the very thing which you had created us to stand against. God cut me off and said,
Do you really think that when I created you, even with free will, that I'd ever allow you to be capable of successfully raising your own hand against your me?
I chuckled and said, that depends on how far you're willing to go for the sake of protecting your own creation. Just how much do you really love us, or do you even grasp the true meaning of love? God's fury at Lucifer's temptation towards him was obvious.
You were my most cherished son, the beloved, cherished above all others.
I paused for a moment, measuring my momentum. In case you have failed to notice, Father, I haven't been myself lately. I said as I poised like a tiger ready to strike, and I am not your son any longer, remember, and if I was then you have defied your own decree on mating with the mortals. Besides, what I do now is not out of desire but duty. I lunged at him from an angle, using my spiraling inertia to deflect his attempt to block me, and plunged my sword into his gut. The demiurge blade consumed his energy, draining him of his essence as a bolt of lightning crashed through the sky and struck the sword. The electricity sent me hurling towards the ground as I fell upon the jagged rocks of a small piece of dry land still above the surrounding waters. Lucifer fell upon a desolate landscape as the life force of God waned, fading into a mere flicker. Weary and drained, for a second time, I died. God's immersive light faded to a flicker as the sword weighed heavy in the hands of someone who was not meant to wield it, dragging his body to the ground like a meteor falling from the sky. He slowly pulled himself free of the blade. Drained and staggering, he looked up, to see Earl standing over Lucifer as his body began to change into what looked like a book. Earl sat over my corpse weeping.
He was only doing what you had created him for, you monster. I will defeat you in his honor.
But Earl flew back as a blast wave of wind stripped her to the bone until even that was smashed into dust.
All I have made has turned against me. Why does it always end the same? They rose up against me just like the others, and my creation, it is as if...
God stopped for a moment and stood with a solemn look upon his face as he said,
It is obvious that for my creation to flourish I cannot exist anywhere within it. Then so be it. I shall not be.
And with that God blinked out of existence into the intangible presence that God has become known as even up to this day. The angels that remained attempted to pick up the remnants of themselves. Michael came down, with a large iron-like chain. He said,
Regardless of whether he was right in his stand, his fury cannot be allowed to ever rise again. We shall continue to uphold our purpose for which we were created and have faith that God shall return to us one day. In anticipation of that day we shall remain diligent to the ways he has always instructed us to, and I shall assume command of heaven's forces as per my creation's design. Only now do we see why it is that he would not tell us the details to that which had caused so much conflict among us. Take Lucifer's body and enchain him below the surface of the earth. Bind his chains into the rocks so that if he ever awakens and gets free it shall cause a great earthquake by caving the earth in on him, by crumbling the walls the chains are bound to in on him. That should buy us some time to prepare and make us aware no matter where we are. I'm sorry, brother, but this is for your own good.
And they carried Lucifer's corpse away to be imprisoned within the bottomless pit. That's about where it stopped. Still, this does not raise any sort of recollection to anything that happened except for the beginning of this and a few other points. The part with Azazel falling to the earth as we rose was slightly familiar, but other than that it was blank like any other story. I thought that I would take a moment to acknowledge and give credit where credit is due. Without its assistance, my work and effort towards the professionalism of my stories lately would not be possible were it not for the AI platform of the ChatGTP app. It is truly the tool for the innovative writer that struggles with the problem of having the talent of a good writer but in need of a good editor, that can turn your good work into a work of astounding proportions for a reasonable price of $40 a year. You can have access to a truly remarkable tool that is a shining example of the advancements in artificial intelligence, language recognition and cognitive response pattern technology. So if you're a supernatural entity seeking to regain your lost throne atop the temple built by man's belief in you, or if you're the incarnation of a god that has taken on human form and seek to return to your place upon high, then I would suggest this app to articulate the words necessary to fuel your rise to where you belong.